Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurazo here, coming at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch for you guys today. And we have a lot of buyouts to go over, as well as the discussion for the mega packs this year. It keeps on heating up. We're actually going to go over a tweet that really shows how bad the pull rates are. And don't worry, I'm not defending Komani over here. I know how bad they are, and I'm actually glad to see people talking about it. And we're going to get right into this. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. Just remember to hit that like button. 100 likes on this video, that'd be great. It just takes a couple seconds to hit that like, so I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you to my YouTube channel members. So, Mulcharmy Purulia, this card is soaring up even further. $45 here. So these were $35, now they're $40, now they're $45, and they do go up to $50 here. Notice how we have like one playset here. We have walls of a lot of cards from the tins. This is not one of them. Goes up to $60 here. And over here for the original, these are $57, go back up to $70, $75. So people who did get rid of their Purulias, well, it looks like your originals are going back up, which again, if you got rid of your originals at $70, $80, it wasn't like that was bad. But if you did not pick them up, seeing how bad the pull rates were, once everything goes down, or maybe the reprints, then that's when we're talking about kind of a bad decision here. So House of Champs has a tweet, and I'm going to read it very quickly word for word, backing with numbers. If you spend money on Yu-Gi-Oh! Seal today, the average pull rate of Purulia is 1 in 5 boxes of info versus the average pull rate of 1 in 33.77 tins, so 34. I don't mind that roundup. The cheapest cost today on TCG Player for that is $352 for the boxes of info, and $500 for the tin bundles. So that means that it is if you want to pull a Purulia, or you're hunting that card down, it is cheaper to get info. And remember, even with info mostly reprinted here, and again, I say mostly, you could still pull the QCs that are worth money, like the Fiend Smith stuff, all that. And this is just pretty awful here. I know he says 1 in 5, but usually I do see the average being 1 in 4 for almost all secret rares, even Purulia. So again, this is just the average he has over here. But I've noticed when I remember doing info, I was seeing more like 3 per case. There's just a couple with 2. So it's like 2, probably like 2.7, something like that. But again, the point still stands here. That is, and what I really don't like about Purulia, and this is another something that is not mentioned, is if we go over here, this is not the first reprint. This is the third reprint here. Remember, not printing, reprint here, because we have the original print, then we have the second print of Maze of the Masters, and then we have the Prismatic Secret. And this was actually very shorted. Now, Konami does this thing where I really don't like it, but the first reprint of a card, if it is some type of staple or it's harder to get, whatever, is still very difficult to get. They usually make it like an ultra, and they put it in some type of deck building set or some type of like side set, and they make it very hard to pull, and they usually put it in there very shorted to help people open up a product they think's not going to sell well. This happened with even like droplets. Think about Legendary Duels from the Deep, right? Thrust in our other Maze set, Purulia. This keeps on happening, and I really hate it as a pattern. But usually the third to fourth reprints are more attainable. This is not attainable, right? At this point, it's almost, I'm not gonna say it's like, oh, they never reprinted the card, but it's pretty close to it here. And it's pretty unfortunate, because usually what I like to see is I like to see these staple cards usually reprinted after maybe a year, 10 months, right? So players do get access in a lower rarity, but it's sort of accessible. Maybe like, for example, instead of making it a Prismatic Secret, let's make it a ultra rare, right? So we have the original secret, and then we get the ultra in the tins, and that ultra rare is a promo. So by opening it, let's say you have a chance of 1 in 3 promos, right? So you buy a case, you are going to get a set of Purulia, right, as your promos, meaning in your packs, you're able to pull whatever you'd like. And I personally would love that, all right? I love tins having promos. They need to bring that back, because this isn't a reprint. This is dog shit. Absolutely. And I hate it. I do. And I want to know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. I really want your thoughts on this. I hate that promos have disappeared from the game, from tins. And while tins technically have more money in them, it's crazy to me. We're going to reprint max rarity, but we're not going to reprint staples properly. Don't you love co-money? At this point, I'm just going to say one more thing before I move on, because I know I'm taking some of your guys' time here. And you guys know I like to be informative and quick. But when Yu-Gi-Oh does fall, right? Because it's already out of the big three, right? People thought it would never fall out of the big three, mind you. And after many, many issues, it did, right? I'm not saying, oh, the game's going to die now or tomorrow. But the more damage Konami does to the game, the faster we get to their destination. And we're going pretty fast. We're going over the speed limit by quite a lot here. That's what I'm just going to say. And I'm going to find some pleasure in it. Even though when this game starts slowly dying, all Yu-Gi-Oh! Content's going to die. If I choose to continue YouTube afterwards, I will have to find something else. I will find, and look, I even do this. I have a TCG store, right? But part of me will be like, you know what? They got what they deserved. And it's just going to happen. And it sucks to suck, but you know, it's a frustration after frustration. This is like this is even drama of the day, by the way. I think like not MBT, but MST.TV and Distant Coder are getting flamed for all their other stuff. I don't even care about it. But this isn't even worthy of Twitter drama for the day. That's how many issues this game has. Shout out to House of Champs, by the way. Really nice guy. LZ, oh, and you should check out him out in his Marco watches. LZ Azamina of the White Forest from Suda. Now, this is a card that I told people to get around the $3-4 mark. And here it is, around $3, right? $2.35 to $4. We're just going to say $3 or $4, but there were cheaper ones around 2 something. I said when we get all the White Forest reprints, people are going to be interested in this deck, right? This deck is still really powerful. It's strong, but just like Medanium, it auto loses to Droll. I told people to pick this up because if they're reprinting everything from before Suda, anything that is not getting a reprint for White Forest is going to go up. And right now, if we go near mint, because that's a heavy price, we're just going to go near mint. We've got one copy here for about $10, 9, 10, 11, you know, 12, 13, 14 here. Card has, if you got it at 2, this card is heading up to the times 7 mark. So if you got this for a price of, let's say, $6, you're looking at 14 times 3. That's 42. That is really, really good gains here. Even if you spent 3 or 4 a copy, you're still fine. And if you got a few play sets, like I did say this was free money, hey, you definitely won here. Now we have the field spell. I told people this was another penny stonk at $1. And right now, we're just going to dismiss these like 3-4 copies here and call it what it is. It's looking like a 2.5 right now. So from $1, we're looking at $2.5 here. Looks like Vengeance Dragon is not going up as much, but it is also a one of. It's $1, right? Always was $1. So there's more copies kind of around the market there. Unlike at least with Witch of the White Forest, you're going to want to run 3 copies. So this card is going up as well. And then the last card here, and I did talk about this card at $2, is Saint Azamina. I misspelled it, but luckily they're going to give it to me. These right now are $4. Now, some people choose not to play this. I do want to tell it, I personally liked playing this. I liked putting this on the field, right? It was a very fun floodgate, actually, and I really like that. Goes up to $5-6, so it is going up. 46 listings is not a lot, and there's not really a good reason to open up Suda. We already got some reprints from this set, like Malflame Swordsman, but we've got like Mitsurugi, we got some of the QCs, if you really believe in high rarity. Meows is getting reprinted very soon, confirmed. There's not too much you can really do here. Oh, also, very quickly, we talked about Fiendsmith Rexrium at $17 to $20. I said, hey, it's getting bought out here. You guys should get your copies before it goes up even further. And now they're $50. So just a little something to look at here. How much is our ultra rare Mitsurugi today? Like $5-6. Not too bad. Diabell, Queen of the White Forest. Now, something I have noticed about the Starlight Rare White Forest cards is they were always like 40s to 50s, maybe 60, but Diabell was always like 70, 80. Right now, she does go up to 30, but $24, 25. Your Roselias are about $30, and then you have your Silveras, which is the best card in the deck if you're like really good, $36 here, because hey, the fact you could book a moon twice is kind of crazy. $36. So they are actually going further down. Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. This is a card I told people to grab at $10. I said, when we see all the reprints for the Yugi deck, from info, all that, this is going to be probably the only card not getting reprinted. Now, that is where I was a little incorrect, because I assumed I did say they were going to reprint either all of it or most of it. But I said most likely they're going to reprint most of it. There's no reason to. There's no reason to gatekeep that deck for some reason. But they actually gatekeeped one card here, which was Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic. But we're going to get into that in a second here. So she is right now $18 here, going up to 21. Shout out to Little Fat Tony. It goes up to 21 here for your copies. This card has essentially doubled in value, and if people want to play the Yu-Gi deck, they're going to want to grab this because they're going to get everything else for cheap, and then they're going to have to get 3 copies of this card. This card could also go up to 25, so just keep an eye out on it. The Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, this card did not get reprinted. Again, they really should have made this a secret rare. What were they doing? You do have a cheap playset here at 6s, which is not too bad. And then $10, $11 here for your copies. So it is going up. It's better than the almost double digits, 2 double digits it was. But it still needs a reprint, and people are going to need to pick this card up if they want to play the Yu-Gi deck. Dark Magician Girl from the last year's tins, believe it or not, is actually going up. I went over this card at $8, and I said, well, it's a promo. Most people have them for free. And we have a lot of other Dark Magician QCs coming up, because we did get the QC Dark Magician Girl quite a bit. And now they're actually going up here. They're $12, going up to $16 here. Remember, these were like $8. I said this was not bad at $7, $8. So if you want to grab this at 5, 6 especially, great buy. And now they are already going up right over here. Second page, we're looking at 23. There's a wall of like 20 copies there, but that could be taken down by someone who really likes it. That being said, I would personally grab the Dark Magician Girls that are harder to grab. Granted, this is the classic artwork here. Dark Magician Girl, the third art. Now, I'm showing this art because this is actually my favorite art. It's probably the least liked in Stampede, actually. I did not think I would. I know I wasn't going to be the favorite, right? Because we saw us get the OTG Dark Magician Girl, and people love that one. I understood that, but I expected this to be second, third, something like that. Not what people dislike the most. These are $20. This is technically some fast food out, if you think about it. Goes up to 23. This is a card that it was 30. It's dropped to 20. And people are trying to sell them, and they just keep lowering the price. I definitely think for Stampede here, the Dark Magician Girls are very undervalued. $20 for that one. Where's the other girls here? I know they're here. Guess they were on the first page. I skipped it. Let's see here. Where are they? You got her right here at like 44, 45. Then on the third page, I guess they're on the third page, because we do have other Dark Magician Girls. I don't know why they're not showing up here. Let's just type in Dark Magician Girl and go. And we're going to go the quarter century. Oh, it's because they're in Bonanza. My fault, guys. That's why. But from Bonanza, you got 40, 53, 81. So this one is holding its value. People like this one a lot because it has the heart. And hey, I fully understand it. Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I actually really like this card a lot. I actually had an OG Secret that I spent a little more money than I should have on. And then Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. The QC is 130. Again, I still kind of want this for my collection. But if they're going to make it Starlight Rare, I mean, they already made Shining Shark, a Starlight Rare. I have no interest in grabbing this card, but it does look very, very cool. Now, if you guys want to keep track of everything I go over in my market watch, I want you guys to check out TCG Creator. So before you skip further, just hear me out. Whenever I do a market watch, I actually have everything I go over linked at the top of the description. That way, in a week or two, you want to know remember what I went through, whatever, you can go there, click the link, and see what these are. Plus, it actually keeps track a lot of these cards, so you can keep some track of it. And whenever you click them and it brings you a TCG player, it uses my affiliate link, which if you're buying any cards off TCG Player like Dark Magician Girl, if you click my TCG affiliate link, it's a separate link as well, so you don't have to go through TCG Creator. And you buy anything, it helps the channel out to no additional cost to you. So consider doing that. But if you want to go further and support the channel, you also could consider being a YouTube channel member. I do channel member videos usually at least once a month. You get access to emotes. You'll get access to other perks in the future. It's pretty awesome. And thank you to all my YouTube channel members. If you guys don't want to support, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to go a little step further, hitting that like button, does help. Same with commenting. I want to know what cards to go over next market watch. I want to know buyouts. I want to know your opinion on what I talk about today. Because if you go through my market watches, I reply to almost every comment. I love replying to you guys. The community is one of my favorite parts about it. So always feel free to comment because I love hearing what you have to say. Unless you're stupid. Which we do get those people time to time. Bisthill Lubellion. This is a card where it did not get the reprint. I wasn't fully sold that it would, but right now your originals are only $15 here. If this card starts seeing play, we are in for a rude awakening. This card will probably go further and further, but if not, I don't know. I could see it bubbling up to 20, but it needs a reason to be higher than 20. Then you have the mega packs. I wouldn't bother. Just go ahead, grab the OGs. And then you have the QC. Again, everybody saw the other Bistills get Starlight. People don't have faith in QCs anymore. This card is hard. It's still meta. It's still, people want it for max rarity. So this card can't really tank too much just because there wasn't many copies around on the market to begin with. At the end of the day, even if there's no almost little to no demand for a card, if there's not much supply to begin with, it's kind of hard to see that card's trajectory and what it's actually valued and what the majority of the community really think that card is worth, because we're talking about really a small amount of people. We have a small sample size, right? The amount of people who own this card is just very small in general because it was hard to pull. So I just won't touch it with the 10-foot pole, and I'll leave it there. Magna Hut, these are 5s. Druid Worm, these are 4 to 5. I like picking these up a lot. I'm trying to even pay 3 on them. This is definitely a card that's going to age very well unless Konami bans them. Bestial Disc Pattern here. These are $9, $10. Again, I think this card, one very unique thing about this card, by the way, is I feel like it should have been able to summon if you control a Bestial. You can use one of the Bestials as a tuner, but maybe that'd be too broken. But, you know, something like Chaos Angel. But right now they're $10 here. Again, if this card's seeing play, it will definitely go up because we do not have this one reprinted. Dominus Purge here. These are $39, $40. Am I shocked that they have gone up? Not even a little bit. Why? Because I expected them to. I mean, this is 1 in 6, 1 in 20. I had a guy pull 2 of them in one display, though. Or not even one display, one little mini box, which was insane to me. So, you know, the clumping issue is crazy at hand. SP Little Knight is $14, going up to $15. People are putting up the walls. This is very overprinted. Now, I know Jay, shout out to Fresh Off the Press, by the way, amazing guy. I know that he actually decided as a fun experiment to get 3 of this and basically get 3 of a lot of the hot in-demand cards. A lot of people were saying, hey, I take Little Knight, and I forgot what other card out. And I was like, you know what? He's doing it more for an experiment for the community to actually, and I like that, right? Because data is important for this game to kind of see what happened, what transition. Because while we have the graphs, it's very cool to see a YouTuber actually, you know, try to put their money where their mouth is to see, hey, how's this going to age? I know Rux in 34 shots at him, he did it as well. And I think that's very, very cool. But I am going to have to agree with the audience here. This card was very overprint. I don't think you could compare this to stuff like the Dominus cards and Purulia at all. I think that this is a card where we're going to get to a point where people are like, you know what, at $10, I might as well keep it. And have we hit that point? Well, we have 14 at 30, 1385 at 50, 135 at 1382, 34 at 1381, and then 1378, we have 38 here. And people are still opening up this right now. So do I think that this card could go further down? Because I think they're like 17, 18. Yeah, they definitely could. At this point, I would just sit on them already. This is insane. This is an insane drop. Iron Thunder. Also, speaking of community, if you guys want to join our Discord in the description below, it's a pretty great Discord. I try to pop in as much as I could, but sometimes I don't do that well. It's been a very, very busy month, so I haven't been doing as much on my Discord, which shout out to everybody on my Discord, by the way, talking. I love you guys a lot. Iron Thunder is going up as well, $5. It's a solemn. Am I shocked? No, not really. But I don't even think this is a bad price because this card was never that crazy. I mean, this card has gone up to what, 12 to 15, something like that. $14, right? Your originals here are $6. You might as well just get the originals at that point. This card is still not that expensive, so it's not bad that it did get the reprint, but at the end of the day, it's not like players are going to complain about like a solemn set for 15 of a unique card like this. Plus, it's a nice looking secret rare. Varudas, these are $3 here. I'm telling you guys this right now. This is definitely a card that you may want to consider probably either picking up or investing in, because everything short print. I picked up, I got 1 in 6 displays. I actually asked my friend who got 20. They said they were actually got 5. But again, that's 20 cases, 5 copies, right? 5 players are going to want this card easily. So seeing these at $3, this is a card I do expect to go up if it has a reason to. This can be Yubel, right? Another deck I want to touch on really quickly here. By the way, I actually bought one of these. We're going to go over it at the end of the market watch, because I feel like it's a bit of a waste of time possibly. But the Yubels, we got Phantom Yubel at low listing still, $15, $20, go up to 23 here. So do keep in mind this card is going up as well. We also have Nightmare Throne. I do want to go over Nightmare Throne very quickly. You have the Ultras at $8 still, and then you have the Secrets at 4, but you do have these QCs at 50. Can this become a Starlight? We already had Yubel stuff become Starlight that was QC. But people are thinking at $50, they may want to take the gamble anyway, and they don't care. This card does go up to 100. It's not guaranteed Konami is going to do it, but if they went over over one of the cards, they'll probably go over all of them. Again, this is a high risk, medium reward in my opinion, but it's kind of funny because this is a card I've always actually wanted to grab. But same with the other Phantom Yubel here. We're actually going to go over it here. I actually did want this guy. And he's still pretty cheap at 50s here. So something maybe worth picking up here. I don't know what said they'd reprint him as a starter in the future, but just keep an eye out on this card. Beckoning of Light Turbo Pack. This card is extinct. And I truly mean that, because do we have a light play on the board that is not foreign? No, we do not. We have mod plays, we have that, we have near mint Spanish, we have light play German. This card is completely bought out here. Now you do have other versions here, like the Yugioh World Ultra, and you have a Super. So do keep in mind there are holographics on the market that are very cheap. But this is a card where the Turbo Pack is extinct. It's gonzo. So Rescue Cat. Now before we go over this set, which I actually do have this, I actually own this, it's in my bag. And I ended up getting this because a card store of mine, I had a lot more credit than I thought. And for reasons I really don't want to talk about, they aren't taking cards for right now. And, you know, if you're in my community, you can take a guess why. Again, rather not talk about any of that. But I decided to kind of cash out. I had more credit than I thought. And I actually got one of these. But before we get over this, let's go over Team Sakurasou fail, right? We always talk about our wins. I told you that I told you so's earlier in the market. Let's talk about something I was wrong about. Now, before we get into that, remember, if you guys haven't hit that like button, smash that like button and subscribe. And I love how many of you guys are commenting. I really, really do. So this is a card where I told people we're going to go light play near mint. So there are less listings, actually. I said this card would go up. And one of the reasons is because I thought this may be played with Yummy, right? A lot of people actually did think about it being played Yummy. We had QC Rescue Ace bought out, or QC's Rescue Cats bought out. I said Rescue Ace there. And I thought, hey, you know, this is going to be really good, right? Same with Obedience School. Now, do they play Obedience School? Yes. Do they play Rescue Cat? Absolutely not here, right? But I did say this is also played for legacy formats, all that. And I always use a rule, especially when I'm looking at older cards, especially stuff like Turbo Pack, is you have to look, is it going to be played in the meta? Is it going to be played in old format? And do collectors want it, right? There's multiple different markets in the game. And when a card shares more and more, that means the demand is going to go lower. And the card is a better pickup early, right? Especially if you get it for cheaper. So let's see what this is today. $37. Now, we don't have any playsets, and they do go up. This card is selling, and I still think it will hit big numbers, around 80s to 100. I do think this. But is it hitting them right now with Yummy in the game? Absolutely not. Now, I might be right later on, but if you have to hold these cards for a long time, it just is what it is. Now, the sales history here for the last couple, again, TCG player, please let me look at the other sales without logging in. You have a near mint here on the 10th of August. Light play French on the 11th, near mint on 29, near mint on the 6th, and near mint on the 8th. So does this card sell? Couple copies every 30 days, right? You know, a small handful, right? judging from that, let's just say 4 a month, right? Because the fact that people are only ordering 1 copy is very bizarre to me. So let's say 4 copies, right? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 12 here before it spikes up. So that means roughly in 3 months or less, maybe even a little more, this card should actually be bought out, actually. And seeing out it's September, that could be December, that could be January. But again, I don't think that the market moves as much in December because people are worrying about holidays and all that. So I don't really, I think that once we get closer to December, we will see a slower market, but that's just my opinion here. But this card is on a ticking time bomb regardless. We had like 20 something listings. Like we had like 26. We had people with play sets actually, on the board here. So see the low listings here is kind of wild. Maybe this card went wild in July. So let's actually just take a look and see what. Okay. So this set actually has more value than I thought. Okay, so we have the embezzled secret rare here with all that stuff at 635, 700. Then we have the embezzled ultra rare at 100. I guess this is the secret. That's the ultra. Then we have the Diabellstar, the Blackwood secret rare. We have them at 20, 25 for the ESR. I think this comes with like 10 packs maybe. $28 for the Memotician. 28. I don't even know what these cards are. Some of them. Fire King, Ponix, ESR. Again, I don't know why it's even here. We have a QC of it, but woohoo. Blue Eyes Tyrant at 17. We have them. Wow, I didn't know that we had a Malice card in here at $10. What the? This set really crept up on me. I don't know if you guys Nightmare Pain or Secret Rare. Ooh, that might be a very good pickup at 12. Maiden of White. You know what? Maybe I actually do a very quick opening and I throw it in at the end of this Market Watch. That's what I think I'm going to do here. Alright, so while I normally don't do openings because my setup just isn't good for them, I thought since we were talking about this set, and I actually don't know, by the way, I actually like this box quite a bit here. It's actually pretty nice. Why not actually do one of these? Sorry if the quality's not that good. Let's see how many packs we actually get here. So these actually do look really cool. These definitely do look really cool. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 packs. This did cost me 50, so basically 5 a pack here. It's not too terrible. We're going to start off with the first 5 here. And this is going to be a learning experience because I don't know what's really in here. And I don't think a lot of players were really prepared for this. So, we have the Ultra Ponix here. We've got Rizal Cross Ultra, Malice Ultra, and we have the Secret Rare Memento King. Now, we just got this as a QC, so what's the point of that printing? So, basically clean Ultra Rares, but we just made everything higher rarity. Now, we have an Ultra Rare of the same card. Oh, great. So, it's like you could pull them in different rarities. Garunix, Maiden of White. And this is, I assume, the secret GWC that we actually saw. So if this is like 10, 11 bucks, that's pretty cool. But now thinking about it, did this card get reprinted in secret? What is the point of this card? Maybe it has to be embezzled. Exodia here. I definitely got to see the Exodia head, I think. Cryptor Ultra. Now, this looks Euro, actually. I don't know if it's the actual card, you know, how the set is, if it's a different Ultra, or if my card shop got Euro. But if they did, hey, oh, Secret Melodious. That's actually some money, I think, and I don't think it's a secret. So, I just remember what I saw on the second page here. We got Ultra Euro Diabellstar. So, that looks quite cool. Poplar's in this? Huh. Okay, so we have a reprint of Poplar. I assume this is going to be worth a lot of money if, you know, Fire Kings ever do something. Ultra Zami. I mean, we have an ulti of this card. And we have a secret detonator. We already have a secret detonator. And I don't know. I don't understand what the purpose of this set is. Ponix here. Mermail. More Mermail. I think we only got 4 cards. Is there only 4 cards a pack? Let's see. 4 cards a pack, yeah. So it's 1 secret, 3 ultras. And I assume if you get it embezzled, it probably replaces the secret slot. Yubel, another detonator. Blue Eyes Tyrant. Again, we just got a Starlight Rare, actually. And a secret detonator. Woo! Man, I only got 1 display, and I'm already seeing so many repeats. This set's really fun to open so far. Man, Sangin, whatever. Man, if I spent money on this, I'd actually be really mad. Wow. This set, Maiden of White, blah, Nightmare Pain. Again, I think the embezzled's 10-11. I don't know if the ultra's worth anything, but hopefully not. And then you have a, yeah, this is I guess embezzled here, or it has like, okay, maybe it's just bad quality, but if you guys actually look at the text here, the text, it actually is, it's kind of like foil bleed. Huh. 2 more packs of this set. Look, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, but wow. I thought we were at least going to have a bit of a fun opening. I guess not. Azamina, Cryptor, Blue Eyes Ultimate here, and then another Malice Secret. I'm just going to say, can we end with looking at a new card? I don't know if we pulled this or not, but let's just say our goal's achieved. You know, this looks so good that 0, but again, I don't even know what this set really is. That was $50, so that was really cool for $50. I mean, technically it was free because I got it off credit, but wow. Does it feel like I wasted my credit? I could have wasted them on special editions too, but guess the illusion of choice, everybody. Well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little mini opening at the end. Hopefully the quality wasn't too bad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.